Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name is Bo Waldron and welcome to another inbox review video. This video is all going to be about our absolutely lovely Kitty Hawk's F-101B Voodoo. This is in 1/48 scale. It was new tooled in around about 2014, so we've got ourselves a lovely sort of basically almost newish tool, and comes in around about £45, so not too bad a price. So lovely box art we've got here. Let's dive in and have a look at this kit. Well, we'll have a look at the instructions later, but first off we have our first sprue just here. We've got all sorts of like fuselage sections just in here. We'll have a closer look and let's have a look at our the actual detail on here. Hopefully you can just see that we do have recessed panel lines, recessed rivets, and actually it is quite full of detail. Hopefully, as you're just seeing just on there, lovely rivet detail going on there. Looking as well, I did notice that we've got some sink marks just here on our air brakes. I don't know if you can sort of see the little ripple going on as I rotate it in the light, and I can sort of feel the bumps in there. On the opposite side, I mean, we do have some, you know, fairly nice detail inside here with our air brakes, but I think all these little holes have created this bit of a nasty effect here with having some sink marks, which is basically where the plastic has sort of sunk down and you've got these little sort of potholes going on your model. It's not massively a big issue. I mean, you can sort of like fill that in, sand it over, make it all flat, or then again, I mean, looking at it, you could sort of get away with almost kind of saying, well, the metal's been a bit dented or something. So I wouldn't you know, really think bad of it really. It's not massive, and it's the only place I've seen it on this kit. Got all sorts of I think these are the air intake fans or something, maybe the exhaust fans just on this side as well. Got these massive ejector pin marks as well, just sticking right out here. Not a big deal. I mean, you can come in with some cutters and just pop them off, sort of pretty sort of easy, but those are pretty beefy ejector pin marks, which is quite sort of bad really. Moving along, we do have I know Kitty Hawk's a bit of a pain for this, but where they sort of melt the plastic or something and they bend it over, and then you have to like really sort of try and cut into this really thick plastic to get them apart. But our wing sections anyway, they are looking also just like the rest of the model. Lovely recessed panel lines, rivet work, loads and loads of detail going on in them. On the underside we do have all this lovely Wheelwell detail as well, which is rather nice. We do have some ejector pin marks around it, but none in the detail. Right, but that is looking rather cool. On this one we do have some absolutely stunning detail just on the inside just here, as you can see. More Wheelwell detail as well. Right, absolutely, you know, pretty damn good actually. When you really sort of look at it, there's bags of detail going on in there. Underside, same level of detail as well on the surface detail. And moving along, we then have some little bits and bobs on here. Now we do have, strangely, we have two sets of doors, because we can sort of on the nose section we can open up these panels and look inside. Now we have two different types. We have same sort of detail on both this side, but on this side, if you want to close it, we've got a blank one. If you want to open it up, we have all this lovely rib detail going on inside here. But we also do have, you might sort of notice, we've got ejector pin mark, 4 ejector pin marks, 1 in each corner. Again, ejector pin marks is a problem sort of with this kit, because I have noticed they are sort of in a lot of places, and in a lot of places where they're hard to sort of sort out. Again, here's the internal detail for that nose section I was just on about, for them doors. And we do have a lot of sort of nice buttons, boxes and stuff, and if you went off and sort of got some copper wire and stuff, and you know, you could scratch build some wiring in there, and that would look absolutely spot on and quite amazing in there. Moving along, we then have some of our weapons. We've got some bombs looking rather good, some missiles as well, look like they'll be easy to put together. We've got some fuel tanks as well. They've got detail on there, recessed panel lines, recessed rivets and all that goody stuff. Some more, I do believe that's some more Wheelwell detail, which actually, you know, is pretty sort of fine and crisp going on inside there. We've got our landing gear as well. Now this is pretty well detailed also, just looking at them, right? And you know, them actually for this kit, you know, there's no ejector pin marks on this landing gear, which is rather nice. But again, we've got some more ejector pin marks. We've got our air intakes just here, which you're probably going to want to be all nice and smooth and all white and all that lovely stuff. Well, you've got ejector pin marks, 2 of them, you know, top and bottom. Some of them are really sort of flashy, as you could probably see there, quite a bit of flash sticking up there. I think these may be something to do with the air intakes or exhaust maybe, but we've got ejector pin marks in there. I don't know if we're going to have to worry about these ones, but these ones we will, and they are kind of bad, to be fair. Moving along, we have our last sprue just here. And do be careful as well, because as I've got this out the bags, there was a couple of pieces that had come off the sprue, so do be careful when you open up and don't throw your bags in the bin and end up throwing away pieces. But we have our front nose section just here, which again, lovely surface detail all the way along there. Also there is some really well detailed areas on this kit as well. Hopefully you can just see all the lovely details on some of these pieces there. The surface detail is pretty sort of up there, really nice stuff. Even when the mold goes over at the sort of the 90-degree angle, which some molds kind of, you lose detail, you know, I could still see that the detail is there. But again, here we have our Wheelwell doors. Again, as you can see, ejector pin marks all over them. Again, we're gonna have to sort them out, because some of them, they are quite deep actually, and they're gonna be noticeable if you don't take care of them. Then we have some cockpit detail. Here's our instrument display panel. Right, just here, absolutely blank, because this kit gives you an option of decals or photo etch, which is rather cool. We've got some ejector seats here, which do have like recess rivets and all sorts of detail on them, not looking too bad. The actual cockpit tub, very sort of bare, because it's got either photo etch or decals, depending on how you want to go, but looking actually rather cool. Last in the sprues, we have our actual canopy bit just here, which I do believe they have got this one nicely spot on. I'm looking at this, it's all very nice and clear and shiny. You could maybe go off and do a bit of a buff with some polishing compounds or something, but you know, if you didn't want to go down that route, you'd be absolutely fine with this canopy just here. Very good stuff. So here is our photo etch just here. As you can see, we've got lovely detail when it comes to our instrument display panel and any other sort of panels that are in and around the cockpit section. Looking really good. I mean, we know Edards are really good at doing photo etch. It's not quite Edard, but it's not bad actually. It's just below Edarding sort of the look and the feel of the quality and the detail, but it's still really good. It's going to look really damn good in your cockpit just there. We do also have the seat belts as well. You know, they're looking also rather good. So for a standard kit out of the box, to basically get photo etch for pretty much all the good stuff in your cockpit is really not bad, actually. I'll just put that over there. Then we have some decals. Again, you did have that option of going along, and if you don't want to go down the route of doing photo etch because it, you know, you might be a beginner, you've got the decals, which are looking pretty good also, as you can see just on there. We do have the Decals sheet, which is looking very sort of a lot of detail going on here. I'm looking at it and it looks like everything's in registry, everything's lined up, we've got good colors going on. I've never used Kitty Hawk's decals before, so I don't know how good or how bad they are, but looking at them on the decal sheet, they do look pretty good. I'm feeling them, they don't feel like they're too thick or anything like that, so you might not have to come in there with some really sort of strong solutions, but yeah, looks good actually. And you do get a lot of markings with this as well, by the way, which we're about to look at. So looking at the instructions now, we have just zoom you in a little bit, there we go. With the instructions, we have the F-101B Voodoo, nice good quality paper in colour. Inside it does turn into standard sort of print paper, but we do seem to get there with the instructions not too bad. You do start off with our air intakes, and it does sort of show you, you know, where to paint, what to paint. What else we've got? Let's move along. We've got our whole exhaust area here, which does seem like there's quite a bit of a build up to get all this together. Strangely, now this, I'm hoping this ain't going to be a problem, but the instructions are showing putting the landing gear in before bringing the two halves of our wing section together. Now I'm hoping they've just done that just the way they've done that for no other reason, but I'm hoping it's not because you can't actually get the landing gear in without actually putting the landing gear in first before you bring the two halves of the wing section together, because that would be a pain to have your landing gear sticking out throughout the build. Probably not the case, but hopefully, you know, these instructions aren't sort of hinting on that. But do bear that in mind when you build it. Maybe do a bit of test fitting first. Moving along, it does look like we can have ailerons moving in different positions, which is always a good one to have them options. Moving along, looks like, you know, it's going to go together pretty sort of easy, and it is nice that we can have open air brakes as well. Looking at some of the in the middle, you get these nice colour cutouts just here. You might want to sort of rip them out or something, but we do get a lovely option for a Royal Canadian Air Force, right? So it's not just the US stuff, we've got a nice Canadian one here to play around with, and that's nicely in colour, showing you where all the decals are going. Then we have another set of markings for a US Fighter Interceptor Squadron 1970. Moving along, we have another set of decals just here for another US one as well, and then we have again another one for another US one. So 4 markings so far. There's 5 in total, so you get some decent amount of markings, and it's not just you know, as some manufacturers will just go, you know, here's 2 sets of markings, but they look the same. I mean, we've got a Canadian, we've got a US one, and actually I'll just jump straight to the back, and you do also get a nice 3-stage camo pattern one as well. So you've got some good variety there to play around with. Then strangely, halfway through the book, we start doing the whole cockpit section. So with the cockpit section, looks like it goes together quite nicely. It is indicating where all these photo etch pieces are going to be going and everything, which is cool. Then we have the different sort of layouts, I do believe, for whatever weapons you want on the undercarriage. Moving along, then we've got those nice sort of doors on the front nose section, which opens up, or you can have closed, whichever you prefer. And apart from that, looks pretty sort of simple, pretty easy to follow. I'm going to say this looks like a good kit actually. We've got some really good damp surface detail for £45 to also get a bunch of photo etch in there. You know, it's a, you know, kind of a nice jet, so it's going to be of a decent size as well. So £40 I think is pretty nice priced up there. You are going to have problems with ejector pin marks, but apart from that, I know there was a bit of sink marks as well on those air brakes, but I'm not going to worry. I wouldn't worry too much about them personally, but those ejector pin marks, you know, you're going to have to put a nice bit of work into them to sort of bring them to life. So, you know, be prepared if you're going to get this kit, doing a bit of ejector pin marks. But apart from that, looks good. Now, hopefully the fit goes together nicely as well, but I think it's going to look a pretty snazzy, fantastic kit. So yeah, definitely a big thumbs up for Kitty Hawk's F-101B Voodoo. So until next time, my name is Bob Warden, this is Genesis Models, and I'll catch you later.